back to Legend of the Willow, and it's also Valentine's Day weekend, and we've gotten our first little mini I don't know, surprise or something like that. They're trying new things with the app, which is very exciting. And this weekend we have this tea party going on. So it looks like for the entire weekend, if I'm getting that correct, seconds, minutes, hours. Yeah. If I'm getting that correct, look like for the entire weekend, you're gonna have free tea. So you can play as many stories as you want without having to spend any tea on them, which is super exciting. Also, that means that we're going to be doing lots of replays of stuff. And this is a good opportunity for me to play through things like when I'm doing second playthroughs, like finishing my Moonborn Victor series. It's still happening. But for now, let's try to find Legends of the Willow. Okay. So there's chapters 7, 8, and 9 that came with this update. I'm going to do 7 right now. I need to pick my husband up from the airport in a little bit. But but we'll see what we can do. Okay. May ponders aging household routines and the principal enemy of sorcerers. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm excited. I'll see how much I can get done. I have a lot to do this weekend, but hopefully. I just want to get this out because I've been so tired. I'm just So, we're here. It's early morning, but we're okay. Okay, chapter 7. First lessons in stealth. Falling from a grass blade and flying away, a firefly. May leaned against the pillar that supported the roof. She looked up. The sun was setting. Its pale gold edge has already touched the mountains. How strange. Me must have been Wow. Okay. Look back to reading that. How rude. The shadows of our destinies cross accidentally. Years, distances, each has their own life, and we collided again. We were strung like beads on a single thread. Why? Who else has noticed this? That's a good question. She moved her shoulders. Her back was filled with aches. It'll be nice to be done with this by tomorrow evening. At first, the simple, monotonous, and boring work gradually drained her strength. The wood seemed to become heavier, and her legs grew a little tired. And I couldn't just refuse. The kitsune went over to the shed to drop off the firewood, bent down, picked up a log in each hand, and headed back. What's all this about doing it in a certain way? Is it because of his age? Shortly before dusk, Satoshi came by. He looked at the woodpile and grinned for some reason. Then, he nodded in greeting. Happy to take a break, May pulled off her mittens. Overcoming her fatigue, she forced herself to bow. Hello, Satoshi. If you're looking for Chamgan, he's in the house. I wanted to get some herbs. I see you put you to work. May decided not to complain. Instead, she answered politely, perhaps trying to convince herself. I'm glad to help him. Of course. I won't bother you. Then he turned around, but the kitsune dared to stop him. Satoshi, I'm sorry. Wait. May I ask you to Takao decided about my training, Masamune, Azumi, what is this trying to say? Is Azumi like a slow burn romance? I realize we don't have a female option yet. She could be. I'd rather date Chino Adori though. Sex about Kazu? I don't know. After a moment of hesitation, he added, we saw each other at lunchtime and Changan warned us that you'd be busy today. He's probably training. Thanks for telling me. Sorry, I need to talk to Changan. You should pick up the pace. It's gonna get dark soon. He didn't have to offer to help me, but why mock me? The shinobi entered the house, and when he came back out, he nodded toward the door. May, go in. He asked for you. Sit down. Grandpa Chungan. The healer interrupted her by raising his hand. Don't talk. Later. Now eat. In here. He pointed to the kettle. Drink it all. Why? It's probably to help with all your aches. Old man sighed. He pointed to the kettle again, insisting, you have to. Then he left the room. Left alone, May sniffed the drink suspiciously. Gross. All his brews were good for me, but this one is too... probably. She sniffed it again, her eyes involuntarily squinted shut. What did he put in this? She kept a tight rein on her imagination and took a sip. The salty, oily, tart liquid was impossible to drink quickly. May was glad that no one could see her face as she forced herself to drink. After eating, May felt drowsy. She washed, undressed, and instantly fell asleep as soon as she collapsed on the bed. In the morning, her entire body ached. Well, so much for the helping with the aches. This hadn't happened even after long treks through the forest. There was an incident over a hearty breakfast. She spilled tea, nearly breaking the cup in the process. Her overworked hands had lost their dexterity. A bit annoyed by the situation, May returned to the accursed firewood. Lunch left her with faint hunger pains. It was a humbler meal than usual, but there was plenty of that disgusting drink. May saw Satoshi and Hung as they walked toward the forest. Undoubtedly, they also noticed her. However, they didn't offer to help. The senior ninja threw a snowball at his companion. Satoshi dodged by crouching and nearly knocked Hung down with a low sweep. Shinobi disappeared among the trees. May could barely hear the word clumsy and laughter in response. And for some reason she thought, how well do you have to know each other to feel so free? Or is it more than that? Is it important to know or to understand the other person? Or do I have it all wrong? Maybe it's what you feel that's important. Kazu, what's in your heart? Are you regretting what happened? She drove away that unpleasant thought, but couldn't completely rid herself of anxiety. With the last log set down and the sun already set, the kitsune stretched, almost groaning. Instead of dinner, there was more of the drink and 2 slices of carrot. It would be rude to ask why she was being fed so poorly, and therefore, satisfied that she completed her task for Chungan, who endlessly showered her with praise, she took a well-deserved rest. What's up with that? I'm sure it's for a reason, but I can't figure out what the reasoning is. I don't know, some sort of weird training? The next day started like the last one, with pain. May was puzzled by her body's reaction to this labor. However, assuming that the sparse mountain air might be responsible, May calmed herself. She was in a much better mood than yesterday. She hoped that she would soon begin her training. She was nervous and intrigued. Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure she's already begun her training. But I can't figure out what exactly it is. As she ate breakfast, the kitsune heard a strange knocking from the yard. She looked outside. Chunga was walking around the stack of wood, tapping it with his stick in annoyance. May asked, Grandpa Chungan, what are you doing? The old man just shook his head in frustration. Oh no, no. May got a bad feeling, but still she asked again. What is it? The healer angrily smacked the stack of pieces of wood with his stick. Getting old. I didn't see it at once. Are they gonna make her do it again? Put the firewood in the wrong place. Over here, the wind will bring snow and rain right onto the pile. What? It's exactly where you showed me. That's right. The old man furrowed his eyebrows. He sighed in frustration. Then he looked at May and said, This isn't a good spot. Put it over on the other side. Would you be so kind? The pain in her back and shoulders caused her to press her lips into a line, but she bowed. Walking around the still dumbfounded May standing in the doorway, Chungan grunted grumpily. Close the door, you let the warmth out of the house. May went back to work. This task turned out to be even more monotonous and boring than the last one. Pick up a log, turn around, throw it into the new wood pile. Pick up, turn around, throw. It's like wax on, wax off. Karate Kid style. Pick up, turn around, throw. Pick up, turn around, and throw. I feel like we're being duped here. Because if we think Karate Kid style, it seems like a stupid, monotonous task. However, that's not exactly what's going on. Pick up, turn around. I'm gonna write this down because I don't know. I'm getting vibes. I'm getting vibes. Turn around, throw. Assholes. Pick up. Turn around. Throw. Pick up. Turn around. Throw. Pick up. Turn around. Throw. The pain gradually receded. This is what usually happened after long dance lessons. If you could force yourself out of bed and begin exercising even a little, the sore muscles quickly started feeling better. This is true. However, her fatigue didn't vanish. On the contrary, it had been steadily piling up. Also true. The healer came back as soon as May finished moving the last logs. Almost as though he's watching. Beautiful. Thank you, May. Well done. I'm pleased. Her face. I love that snarky little look. Listen. There's a tub of hot water drawn inside. Go take a bath, and then I'll have dinner waiting. Unable to argue with her elder, but carefully considering how a well-bred girl might do just that, the kitsune went up to the porch. How a well-bred girl might do just that? Huh? At breakfast, she didn't have to wait for good news. Changan came up with a new task. It was necessary to clean. The walls haven't been washed for a long time. Don't worry about the whole house, only here. The healer, who had begun to stir less of May's sympathy than before, handed her a rag. Wiped the walls harder. What's gotten into him? I keep things orderly. Aloud, she answered with respect due to a man of his age and position. Of course, Grandpa Changan. Look like this. Up, down, then left, right, board by board. Now I'm on to them. I'm on to you now. Up, down, left, right. Board by board. With one hand, and when it grows tired, the other. No, some stains will remain. Here, smoothly back and forth, press firmly. Don't move from side to side. She began to rub the already clean walls obediently. The old man made noise and shuffled dishes in the next room, but frequently looked in, checking to see if May was doing everything right. That's it. Up, down, left, right. Up, down, left, right. Up, down, to the left, to the right. There was no visible effect, but Changan was, lo and behold, pleased. Very well done. Just be careful in front of the window. Up, down, left, right. My hands are about to fall off. I have to prepare for the trip to the capital, and instead this is the 4th day. She abruptly brushed a lock of hair from her forehead. It isn't for nothing that Changan is running me around. I don't believe for a second that he didn't know where to place the wood out the wind. The cleaning is more the same. The drink, I believe. Straightening up, the kitsune intended to confirm her suspicions. She addressed him. Grandpa Changan. The old man with his lively, attentive eyes immediately appeared in the room. What is it, May? Is the rag fraying? No, Grandpa Changan. There's a reason that you asked me to carry firewood, not wash the walls, isn't there? Old man threw up his hands in surprise. Of course. You stacked it as conveniently as possible, and cleanness is important. Yes, but it isn't just that. Life is simple. We complicate it ourselves. He pointedly raised a finger, and I never do anything without reason. The healer majestically stroked his beard, then hitting the floor with his stick, shouted with deliberate severity. Stop getting distracted, curious fox. Finish up here. I will not ask you for anything else today. When May finally finished her task, it turned that Chang'an had left the house. Since I finally have some time, first of all, she get down to business. I will pay the Jonin a visit and find out if some part of the plan has changed. Is that even a possibility at this stage? How would I know, though? She thought about Kazu. Later. I'll decide later. Deciding that a visit to the head of the clan would not be objectionable, May left the walls as she had grown to dislike over the past few days. May, hello. Takao. I was told that there was finally some Takao romance this update. So congratulations for Takao romance. I will get there. I don't know if I want to date him before or after Masamune though. I don't know. Inviting her to the table, the sorcerer asked, "How can I help?" I wanted to ask if there were any further details. Perhaps you met and discussed things? Nothing new. May bowed. Sorry, Takao, for disturbing you. The journalist smiled affably. Do not worry about it, May. There's absolutely nothing to apologize for. Your interest is understandable and appropriate. How's your training with Chang'an going? I carry firewood, wash the walls. It's very unexpected in terms of preparation. Chang'an is analyzing your capabilities, and, with the help of herbs, he's making your whole body work. It gets more difficult as you progress. You'll have to take a break from some lessons during others. Day by day, May. I understand. Chang'an isn't the only one who is going to teach you. Masamune, maybe Satoshi. Kazu? No, not him. Looking at May as if studying her reaction, the Jonin added, I must warn you. Chang'an insistently asked Kazu not to bother you for a while. The sorcerer didn't give himself away, but May was certain that he knew about her relationship with Kazu. Let me give you some advice. Get as much rest as possible, at least until you get used to the load. Also, May, since you will be spending quite a lot of time here, I'm not at all opposed to you moving freely around the village. May bowed deeply. Takao, I appreciate the trust you've placed in me, and thank you. May realized that she shouldn't continue to bother the sorcerer as she stood up. Taking advantage of her free time, which was apparently about to become much less abundant, May decided to visit Kazu. What will I tell him after what happened? How will things be now? May knocked once, then again. The ninja didn't open the door. She circled the house to find Kazu clearing away snow on the terrace. When she approached, he stopped, carefully peering at her. Hello? The kitsune replied, Hello? What happened? May's eyebrows rose in confusion. Kazu? You look tired and worried. The first makes sense. Your training has begun. May consider how to explain things without being too direct. As usual, Kazu was able to sense the gist of her thoughts pretty quickly, albeit not with complete accuracy. His question was blunt. Do you regret it? No, not at all. I see. Kazu approached her, kissing her cheek with his hot lips. The only time for doubts is before doing something, not the other way around. Let's go inside. Your legs and back are aching. Is it that noticeable, or how could you tell? Yeah, how could you tell? You move differently. Your gait gives it away. Entering the house, the shinobi calmly said, Go to the bedroom, take off your clothes, and lie down. I'll be right there. The kitsune, taken aback by his words, froze in place. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I can get what he's going for here, but that... funny though. Oh my god. Kazu paused in the middle of removing some things from her chest as he noticed May's reaction. The ninja shook his head. I'm going to massage your muscles. They won't hurt as much. It will help you sleep better. May sullenly smiled and gave the shinobi a slightly reproachful look. His voice changed, becoming softer. I wouldn't suggest it like that. May only remembered the beginning. The shinobi ran his palms over her back in light circular movements. Then her consciousness treacherously faded into a dream. Oh, that's nice. She felt her breath on her eyelashes, quiet on the verge of a whisper. Wake up. If you skip breakfast at Changa's, the whole village will hear his grumbling. May opened her eyes. It's already morning? I fell asleep with him again. Ugh, how is that possible? May glanced over at a kimono neatly folded away from the bed. The ninja grunted and stood. As he was leaving the room, he said, Get dressed. Behind the screen is a towel and some warm water to wash your face. Nice. In the morning, the old ninja served a strange, horrible tasting drink again, making sure she drank everything, he said. Endure and wait. Overcoming pain, anger, fatigue, fear, and pride. Stepping through oneself, this is necessary to achieve the goal. The further your target is, the more patient you need to be. This is one of the first lessons in the ways of stealth, ninjutsu. May try pronouncing it, ninjutsu. You don't need to become a shinobi, but you will need to put this knowledge in your head alongside your fans in fights with terrible monsters. Grandpa Chungan, I'm sorry. For what? I didn't realize right away that you were teaching me. I thought you were making me do stupid things. I'm ashamed now of these thoughts. She bowed deeply. Don't worry about it. Those who know how to blush cannot have a black heart. And at least she didn't like say that out loud. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? How would you know that a ninja's training can do many things? Carry something, it strengthens the body. Clean the house, you memorize movements that will be useful in battle. More on that later. Learn to be patient now, May. And also, the ninja went out, soon returning and carrying new clothes. Today, you'll be practicing magic with Takao. This will be your outfit. May looked over the clothes. Why these clothes specifically? In the capital, you will have to mostly wear beautiful, layered, and uncomfortable clothes. You can't really run in hakama. Get used to doing things different in it. Get used to doing different things in it. When Changan went out, the kitsune changed. Ooh. It goes on my little fan. This doesn't go with my fan, but I like the colors going on here. Yeah, it's like super grand. Whoa, I love that deep blue. That's pretty. All the outfits are nice. But we fancy. And then she went to the cliff. Hold up. Hold him up. I don't fully know how I feel about the fan right here. Ooh. Or the black one. Black fan. Black fan. Let's switch up our hair a little bit. Let's go this way. I haven't seen this one in a while. Have we ever worn this one? I don't know. Kind of like it. What else we got? Ooh. Forgot about this one. I like it. Okay. Went to the cliff. Okay, so we got a little ninjutsu training, and now we're going to do some magical training. Super exciting. Okay, so we just like a little, just like a training episode. This is nice. Takao was already waiting for her. The sorcerer did not waste any time. It looks so pretty over there. Let's begin. Show me the best magic you can conjure right now. The cold morning wind tore the snow from the stones, carrying it across the abyss and leaving it somewhere among the trees. I like this music. It's all like, it's like whimsical. They do such good music in this app. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. I really like this song. Okay. I gotta focus. May closed her eyes, listening to its howls. Then she looked at the distant mountains and held out her hand. Toward the mountains she sent a bird of woven light, a shower of burning sparks. We doing all of that light magic. Pearl Fox. The illusion went flying, smoothly flapping its wings. As if created from a dimly shimmering mist, it was clearly visible. It was too perfect. The bird looked nothing like a real one. That's no good. It soared for a distance before the darkness dissolved, melting just like fogs under the next gust of wind. Even worse. I could do better before. Why didn't it work now? Am I worried about Takao's judgment? In any case, he will see how much my magic has developed. May glanced at the sorcerer. I should create a convincing illusion. Admit that I can't do it whenever I want to. Push through. You got this. She dropped to one knee and touched the cold, frosty ground. Tactile, soft, dense. The air in front of her thickened. It took the shape of a rabbit, still transparent, ephemeral. Sorry, I can't remember. A few moments and the animal changed. The gray fur looked almost real. The rabbit shuddered, blinked in fright, and rushed with a long jump off the cliff. May jumped up, watching its fall. In a few moments, the illusion disappeared from sight. Phew. Much better. A deep, comprehensive study of magic, laying a solid foundation for your knowledge, is essential. However, we have no time. Therefore, you have no choice but to be satisfied with a rather narrow, fragmented understanding of what you are doing. As such, some of my opinions about magic and its techniques will have to serve as truths and rules. Fair enough. So, our classes will be mainly focused not on your holistic development as a sorceress, but on mastering, strengthening, and confidently applying several techniques. You can use them in a fight with a Ryoge, an Oni, or with an ordinary person. It doesn't matter. But your arsenal of these techniques will be incomparably less than that of any experienced sorcerer. I notice that you tend to guide yourself with your hand when you're using magic. Yes, it happens by itself. By itself? The Kitsune tried to explain her feelings. It makes it easier for me to understand where and what to conjure. That's right, you aren't the only one that does it. Gestures and, on rare occasions, one's voice help the magician to maintain focus and develop a connection between a specific image and action. I'm not sure I understand. You put your hand forward and create an image in front of it, in the direction your hand faces. This is the simplest example. Putting one's fingers in a certain way focuses my energies on a certain kind of magic. For example, Sorcerer briefly moved his hand as if brushing away something. A small pebble lying to the side rolled along the ground. May could not hold back her amazement. Wow. Remember, magic can be used without the aid of one's hands, but it is very difficult, and only a few people are able to master this skill. Usually, a sorcerer with his hands tied is not dangerous. The Jonas emphasized the word usually. So you and I will learn to use gestures. In magic, it is more correct to call them passes. Get used to this idea. If you create a certain magical effect, you create it not by randomly spreading your fingers and waving your hand, but by doing a specific pass. He smiled. Go ahead. Conjure. What? Anything. I'm waiting. Because of Jonah's prompting, she started worrying. She raised her hand, trying to concentrate. You're getting lost. Too many emotions. Don't worry, you can do it faster. I promise you. The path of passion and the Pearl Fox. Of passion and the Pearl Fox. Okay, so they noticed that, and it's specifically those two together do something specific. Interesting. Did you want to create some kind of illusion? Yes, a bird. What color was it supposed to be? How large? It depends on which one. I could make it out of smoke. I can't decide. It could be something scary. You start to doubt and worry. These are all conventionalities. Be calmer and more confident. Your bird could be anything. You didn't give me enough time. Time is a magician's primary enemy in battle. Main problem is that it takes a lot less time to strike someone with a sword than to conceive of a magical image. One can learn to cast faster, however the general principle remains the same. To attack more quickly, they use specific images associated with magical passes and don't limit themselves to the conventional. Great. Now, let's figure out the magic techniques best suited to you, which will need to be owned. Ideally, until you are able to execute it reflexively during the pass. Now, let's decide which magic to focus on. Illusions! Are you sure? Yes. Well, cunning, deceiving the eyes and ears, we, the shinobi, appreciate such skills. There are some more convenient techniques. For example, acolyte. Variations are widely known in certain small circles, but that makes it no less useful. You already did something like that, albeit much simpler today. He jerked his hand oddly, creating a dense shadow somewhat similar in size and shape to a falcon. Blood trickled down his fingers. He moved his palm, and the darkness soared into the sky, gradually growing and falling where the sorcerer indicated. If it's easier for you to imagine a bird, let it look like that. I don't know if I got the screenshot in time. The illusion sat on a rock next to May. It let out a piercing cry and roused itself, rustling its feathers. It clicked its huge beak and disappeared in an instant. Impressive. Can it do anything? It's ethereal, so it won't scratch out your enemy's eyes, but it can scare them off or block their line of sight. Another reason you should focus on a few specific shapes is creating a reliable result. Every time you improvise, there's a chance that the magic will not have the desired effect. For example, when sneaking past a sentry, you try to distract him with an illusion of sound. You might make a strange, unlikely noise and only make the person more alert. He will not go to check where water is suddenly dripping, but instead will raise the alarm. With experience, with wisdom, the risk will decrease, but for now, you need familiar and reliable magic. I see. Have you changed your mind? No? The Jonin gestured invitingly to the cliff. His voice took on a commanding tone. You would do exactly as I say. The kitsune nodded. Raise your hand. He adjusted her elbow. Hold it tight. Bend it a little if it's more comfortable. Fix your stance, legs further apart, more stable. Focus on getting used to standing correctly at once and not staggering like a rag doll. There. Take a deep breath. Smoothly exhale. Release the power. Should I have written down those steps? That sounds like a lot. Bend your fingers. A swirling haze, faint outlines of wings. That isn't it. Take my fist in your hand. He held out a clenched hand with a still clean bandage. May gently touch the Jonin. Don't touch it, but take it with your whole hand like you would take an apple. Yes. Now, without moving away, half open your fingers. You should use that kind of gesture when performing the pass. Again. Breathe in. The bird began to grow larger, and not even having time to fly away, evaporated. Again. May had been doing magic all day, to the point of weakness and dizziness. In the evening, a large bird of prey soared out over the abyss. It was smaller than the one created by Takao and didn't move as far away. However, the illusion flew in a wide circle as if obeying the movement of the kitsune's hand. Ooh. Oh, shoot. I turned it sideways, but I forgot to take the picture. Ah, not good with the moving ones. It cried shrilly, spreading its talons wide. Good. May smiled with delight and, losing consciousness, slowly collapsed on the stones. Okay. I think we have time for one more. May experiments with personas and magic. Chapter 8, Night Visit. Without dropping, its bright white dew, a bush clover sways. A hoarse voice disturbed her calm mind. I don't want to hear it. What were you thinking? She's only been doing magic since autumn. You think she'd know the limit of her strength? He's clearly giving someone a piece of his mind. Or do you want me dragging her back from the other side as I did with you? May grimaced and opened her eyes. She had to breathe through her mouth. Caked blood completely clogged her nose. Oh, shit. Yo. Oh, she's pale as hell. Oh my god. That's not her usual pallor. She looks sick. She tried to get up, but halfway through lifting herself on her elbows, dizziness rushed over her, abruptly becoming an acute bout of nausea. Ooh, poor thing. The heaving did not lead to anything. Her mouth remained dry. Oh, poor thing. I was just very sick on Monday. I know the feeling. Tired from the slight effort, she sank back onto the pillow. She closed her eyes again and continued to listen, visualizing the speakers. She's fine, though. This is a perfectly normal reaction. The old man's voice was kindly as he asked the head of the ninja clan. Taka, my boy, have you completely lost your mind? Normal? His convulsions? A sigh came in response. She needs to be trained. We don't have a lot of time. She could hear the anger in the healer's reply. Exactly. Trained, not killed. Kazu, why are you silent? Tell him, since he doesn't want to listen to me, the ever-wise Jonin. Sarcasm dripped from Chang'an's voice. Kazu's voice was soft and conciliatory. Don't scold him, Grandpa Chang'an. Tell me, will she be able to continue her training tomorrow? After a few unintelligible grunts, Chang'an answered curtly. Wait, did Kazu say something? We'll see. She's strong. Kazu asked, do you still need my help? No, I don't need her moved again. In the morning she'll get up, and she... Have you decided yet? The head of the clan responded. I don't doubt that Masamune is a great warrior, but... But what? They discussed something earlier? If I start, I'll change her. Why should I, if she can do without it? So far, she's doing well. Also, it seems she's regained her senses. I hear her moving around under the blanket. Busted! Then she needs to drink more of the mixture. Both of you go. Do not disturb her rest. I'll look after her first. The door slid quietly to the side. The ninja silently approached, his presence only given away by the shifting of the air. May looked at his silhouette, scarcely visible in the dark. He sat down beside her. May smiled languidly and whispered, Hello? Forgive me for being so... Shinobi gently touched her lips with his fingers, preventing her from continuing. Kazu drew near, watching her attentively. He silently reached for her head and pulled a bowl of water close, using it to moisten a clean cloth lying nearby. He brought the damp cloth to May's nose. Her eyes squinted shut, wincing. She was embarrassed to have someone taking care of her. His voice was barely audible. Shh. Quiet, gentle one. Quiet. I'm being very careful. Be patient. He delicately began to wipe away the blood that prevented her from breathing. Don't worry, tomorrow you will feel much better. As usual, he managed to soothe and distract her with a few choice words. I know about this. I remember Takao. Magic does this to you sometimes. Indeed, she breathed more easily. Your lips are dry. Do you want something to drink? May nodded slightly. The man got up and returned with the healer. A few sips of a brew and a calming nothingness washed over her again. It's nice. I just feel like we just lived in a really nice place. In the morning, sparrows were chirping outside the window like a flock of tiny evil yokai. May sat up with a yawn. Her surroundings seemed to be spinning, covered with a fog that induced lightheadedness until things finally gained clarity. Almost at once, the old man appeared in the doorway, looking disgustingly cheerful and smiling. You're awake. How are you feeling? This could be passion versus coldness. We didn't get a choice of that last time. Passion is speaking about how you feel, just like letting it out. Tolerable will be kind of like what you're supposed to say in like polite conversation. Kitsune rubbed her temples. My head. I can help with that. He handed May a cup. Here you go. May looked at the healer. Again? It's delicious. She took a careful, skeptical sip. The simultaneously sweet and sour concoction relieved her of her nausea at once, and compared to what she had been forced to drink the past few days, its flavor was delightful. Thank you. Oh, I think her color's back. Yeah, she looks a little bit better. Yeah. What's in this? What was I drinking before? A special brew. Roots, flowers, and some especially rare types of moss. It's good for everyone to drink them from time to time, even more so when under intense strain. He grunted. Cough, cough. Yes, it is interesting. I'll explain in more detail later. The important thing is that that drink is healthier. Is Takao angry with me? Why would he be? You've done as you were told. He paused and corrected himself. Overdone. You should do some stretches now, May. Considering it out that she would be able to, but she nodded in agreement. No need to get up. Lie down. Lift your hands up, clench your fist. Hold, lower to the sides, just like that. Then she had to flex her feet. Then, lying on one side, she pressed her knees to her chest and straightened back out. These strange, at times completely ridiculous movements were meticulously directed by Changan and did not last long. Afterward, the old ninja brought May some rice. Eat and try to get some more sleep. Changan spoke very seriously. Just don't think too much. Don't strain your head. If you can't fall asleep, at least take a nap. May was left alone. Whether the tea that Changan had brought was not just tea, or she had truly exhausted herself, May effortlessly fell asleep once more. At lunchtime, although Changan was not fully satisfied with the condition, he allowed the Kitsune to leave and meet with Takao. May knocked politely on the door. The sorcerer's voice came from within the house. Come in, Satoshi. I'm not Satoshi. Shout through the door? That would be unbecoming from a geisha. It was a geisha. And knocking more would be foolish. He likely decided that the ninja didn't hear him and simply repeat himself more loudly. Satoshi, what are you waiting for? May carefully opened the door. She could hear a close but quiet voice through the wall. She shook the snow from her shoes. Hold still. I told you I'd do it. You only make it hurt more. May timidly stepped into the room. Good afternoon, it's me. On a low table lay blood-stained bandages and a knife. The pungent smell of an unfamiliar medicine or ointment filled the room. May noticed that Kazi was changing the bandage on Takao's arm. She immediately lowered her eyes. There was a brief pause, then Kazi spoke as though nothing had happened. Lively one, you're just in time. There's a bandage on the chest, pass it to me. May quickly complied with his request. Realizing that she had interrupted a somewhat personal moment, she apologized. Takao, I'm sorry, I can leave. The gentleman smiled. It's okay. I should be the one asking for forgiveness. I didn't think that it could be you. Don't be shy. Sit down. If this is acceptable to you, this isn't a pleasant sight. It's fine. You seem me unconscious. Now we're even. May smiled, trying to smooth over the situation. Another face of the Jonin, Takao, a friend, not detached and a little awkward because of what's happening. Very close to Kazu. How are you? Knocked Chang'an out and escaped? No, you let me go. I'm pretty much okay. The ninja quickly glanced at her, making sure Mei wasn't embellishing. Really, I'm okay. Kazu finally pulled off the dry cloth. The clan's leader's hands looked absolutely terrible. Streaks of scars covered it. Scarlet drops clung to a thin, swollen wound. Oof. Help me. The shinobi glanced meaningfully at a small, dark glass bottle. He squeezed his friend's palm slightly, gently and deftly bringing the edges of the cut together and closing the wound. Here, little by little. Mei applied the thick ointment to Takao's hand. The Jonin's features hardened and his eyelids closed for a moment. More. A thin film covered the wound. The redness gradually lessened. Kazu quickly applied a fresh bandage. His jaw twitched as he looked at the kitsune and said, Lucky me. Magicians. Takao looked at him blankly but didn't bother to ask. You're gonna practice? Yes, we'll work on the passes without power. I'll go then. He touched Mei's shoulder, adjusted that it was by no means accidental, and left. Takao pretended not to notice her embarrassment. Yes, a tactful person knows how to pretend to be blind, deaf, and if necessary, stupid. Tea. With pleasure. Then please. I enjoy brewing it myself. After taking a sip of the hot drink, Takao twirled the knife that had been used for cutting bandages, which had remained on the table. He glanced toward the entrance to the house. A bit cold sometimes, no? The knife? The Jonas smiled at her attempt to avoid the slippery topic. May looked at his point and spoke uncertainly. They are similar. Sometimes cold, always reliable. Nothing superfluous. The knife requires nothing in return. Always leaving it up to you to decide. It's dangerous. Not if it's by your side. You meant to say if it's yours. I wouldn't dare. However, the trader's voice in her head had doubts. I wouldn't? Takao put down the sharp steel, courteously pouring tea for her. Okay, I get it. They were talking about Kazu. I got it. The sorcerer spoke with a strange intonation, concisely summarizing their exchange. It's hard to get by without it once you get used to it. Then Takao and Mei started their training. So that the day is not lost, today we'll focus on your fingers. No magic manipulation, as you need to recover, only gestures. There are simple ways to remember them. Mei fell asleep that evening, her head having barely touched the pillow. She woke again very soon. Lots of nighttime visits. An icy draft was crawling across the floor. Mei opened her eyes just as someone pulled her hair. How do I react to this? They're playing battle music, but do our attack. I'm gonna miss the being trained though, so I probably should attack. Azumi pressed the kitsune to the bed and raised her fist. Mei instinctively covered her face with her hands. Pain erupted in her forearms. The shinobi swung again. Mei reacted in an instant. She didn't have time to imagine something specific or fold her fingers, as she had been taught. The magic she conjured was brief, weak. A lot of darkness rushed at Azumi's face. She recoiled reflexively, her blow delayed. Mei tensed, kicked her off, and jumped out of bed. Still silent, the ninja wordlessly rushed into attack. This time, the illusion came out much denser, impenetrable. Blinded, Azumi tried to shake the scattered cloud of fog from her face. In vain. Grabbing the pillow, May swung with all her might, striking her uninvited guest below the knees. Then she shoved her free hand forward. Shinobi fell against the wall, loudly banging the side of her head. Stop it. You're not yourself. The Kitsune adjusted her grip on her soft but weighty weapon and extended her hand dangerously, preparing to defend herself with sorcery. Her disheveled bedclothes and unkempt hair completely complemented her wild appearance. She retreated a step under a hateful gaze, fearing another attack. But Azumi stayed on the floor. Suddenly her eyes gleamed suspiciously. Maiden immediately believed that she was seeing tears. They kicked this bitch out. They kicked this stupid hoe out. Really? 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 That's pathetic. That's kind of pathetic. How you gonna come in? Not only are you gonna come in and attack somebody in the middle of the night, you come in and attack somebody when you know that they're recovering. I'm pretty sure that the whole village knows that I'm recovering from my magic. Because he probably had to, they had to carry my unconscious bloody body back from the cliffs. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows. So this is ridiculous. Does she still attack you if you're dating like Takao or Masamune? Then that makes even less sense. Let me know if she does, if you're dating Masamune or Takao. Because that'll be interesting. But you know we're nice. I should kick her ass out. Fine. Azumi, I'm not your enemy. Look, about that test. She stopped short. That's not what this is about, is it? Of course not. May carefully lowered her pillow. Kazu? Everything went wrong anyway, and then he brought you. You acting so good. Modest, correct, well-mannered. I know what this modesty is worth. You are like everyone else. Azumi? She interrupted. I'm as good as you. You stopped talking to me altogether. Absolutely. Even as a friend. Well, that's because you were pushing way more than a friend and he told you not to. That's on you. Like, had you been normal, that'd have been fine. But you've been being a bitch to her this entire time. Why would he, like, just be hanging around you chill as if nothing had happened? Like, no, bitch. You brought that shit on yourself. Don't go blaming him. Don't go blaming me. Because, nah, you're the one acting crazy. And apparently, y'all weren't together even before I got here. Like you just said, things went wrong, and then I came and made it worse, supposedly. So, y'all were already on the fritz. That shit, they ain't had nothing to do with me. So, May didn't know how to react. The ninja was clearly at her limit. Her voice became uncertain, shaky. What's so special about you? Is that you're a yokai? A tear rolled down the ninja's cheek. She covered her face with her hands. May stepped forward and hugged her shoulders, which trembled in the darkness. I'm sorry. For a few moments, nothing happened, then Azumi froze. Soon as she had calmed down, but then the shinobi tensed and recoiled. You decide to console me? Who are you? What do you know? Sitting in your okiya all your life, not even human. In a quiet voice whistling with anger, Azumi hissed. You're a goner. Doomed. You will die, and you will drag others along with you. Then she deftly fled out of the window. The Kitsune sighed, shaking her head. She closed the curtain, shivering from the chill air. You can't wait. The next day, May felt completely healthy, and Takao once again led her to the cliff. May didn't tell anyone about Azumi's visit. Last time you did succeed in creating an acolyte, albeit for an insignificant amount of time. That's great. We will definitely return to it. But in addition, for your general education, I will demonstrate what can be done with other aspects of Kitsune magic. Fire. Eventually it might come in handy. There's a fairly common technique called glow. Are we supposed to be building both? an extremely dangerous and effective magic. The sorcerer raised his hand towards the abyss. A tiny flash escaped from his fingertips. A ball of fire the size of a fist, shimmering with a bluish flame, rushed into flight with a hump as an elongated tail arc behind it. Quickly fading into a brilliant dot, it exploded before reaching the overgrown slope across the expanse. Judging by the size of the blossoming fire flower, it could consume a cart. Impressive. Does it take a lot of strength? Mission up to Takao. Takao appreciated that Mei was interested in magic and tried not only to remember, but also to understand. Mei, you're starting to ask questions like a real sorceress. The competent, careful use of magic is often critical. The glow I've shown you requires more power than you are currently able to direct. Its transformation will most likely kill you. However, I cannot say. A Kitsune's body is probably better able to withstand such influences, but we will not find out your limits like this. So if I'm right, if you can get by with less, then you need to. That's the best way to put it. Mei's voice was uncertain. Do you think I can ever do something like that? No doubt about it. Sooner or later, you'll become a powerful sorceress. You've only just started learning magic, and have already shown more than impressive results. Get ready. Get into position. Legs steady and your elbows. If the stone bothers you, kick it away and stand comfortably. Ready? Again, they practiced the passes down to the tilt of each finger, try after try, and again there was magic. Permeating within, tearing outward, invocations piercing hands, magic stirring and painfully throbbing in one's temples, palpable under the skin. Takao showed the Kitsune what she should do, then corrected her and demanded she repeat the action again. After another failure, they took a break. He told her about other common magic techniques that could help in some situations. You have some nasty enemies, Mei. There was little information about their magic. However, everyone has limitations. The Oni also get tired, and they are not almighty. Arai's story confirmed that, but what the Ryoge are capable of is more difficult to know. The Ronin hadn't encountered them before you met. This means that we have only speculation. Probably, these creatures have more than one surprise in their arsenal. Isn't it encouraging? See, there are a couple of things that seem to be true to me. First, magical creatures as a rule have serious, shall we say, limitations in their use of magic. This may not be exact, but there is a pattern nonetheless. The stronger this creature can supposedly become, the tighter its limits. You mean that just as a Kitsune can only conjure illusions and fire, the Ryoge and Oni also have similar restrictions? Yes. Interesting. You said there were a couple of things. The shonen smiled. The second is your seal. Analyzing your fight with Goto in the garden, the conclusion suggests itself, the seal protects you. The Kitsune waited for Takao's reaction to her confession. I see. The Jonin perked up, his gaze grew more piercing. Could you share your thoughts in more detail? Slightly embarrassed by the pressure, Mei explained. It's not even thoughts as much as feelings. Even more so then, all the more interesting to me. The mark on my palm seems to have prevented the Ryoge from casting. The man raised an eyebrow. It doesn't make sense, right? On the contrary, this may very well be the case. Sorcerer's voice grew thoughtful as he spoke under his breath, almost to himself. The gatekeeper is looking for the seal. The seal gate must be open. It doesn't work because it is sealed. Could it be? Oh, also, what they could be looking for on the other side of that gate is opening up the limits to their magic. They'll probably be able to be more powerful if they open up that gate. And the seal on her hand is keeping them from using certain magics. And also keeping that door closed, preventing them from having more power. So it kind of shuts them down power-wise. That's why they're so afraid of the seal. But once that door is open, the seal won't mean jack because, you know, it's not sealed anymore. You broke the seal. Huh. The Ryoge magic didn't work. The power of the seal doesn't let them. Does the seal weaken all Ryoge magic? Takao looked at Mei. Maybe. However, Goto did not expect our arrival. We had an advantage that we cannot count on now. Between our two meetings in the old garden and in the Okia, Goto, or rather Lady Chico, had plenty of time to go and tell other people about the seal. You're afraid that word has traveled to the capital? May nodded. The head of the clan looked at her with undisguised curiosity. Have you ever wondered where you got this aptitude for analysis? No, sorry, Takao. She bowed. I wasn't trying to sound clever. It's fine. You're making very accurate conclusions, very precise. It's impressive. He paused. Very good. Even if you did make a mistake, the gatekeeper knows only about a girl named May who lived in Lady Kinuyo's Okia. Goto could have reported this before you returned north. You'll go to the capital under a false name, but be careful. There's still a chance of meeting someone there who knows your face. Highly likely. Of course. Are you rested? I mean, because that one guy, that night, he's been chased away. However, the other two men that were there that I had tea with and I was deciding in between, they'll probably be there. So we'll have to be on the run from them. Yes, what should I do now? Let's continue with illusions. You're stronger in that aspect. The stone on the edge. I see it. Put a bird on it. Create an alkalite. Haha. I need 12. Maybe. Can't breathe. May pointed her hand to the side. A large owl emerged from the abyss. White feathers fluttered in the wind with dark tips. Yellow eyes closely watched the head of the clan. Obeying the kitsune's instructions, the wraith, almost indistinguishable from a living bird, flapped its wings and flew up to the boulder in a graceful arc. Curved claws scraped on the stone. The illusion folded its wings and blinked, still staring at the man. Only now, snow and dry grass began to glimmer through it. May swayed, touching her temple. May? I'm fine. You're doing great. The Joni nodded with satisfaction. Enough for today, or you're fainting again. She sighed with relief. Let's go back to the village. Okay. So I think he is being careful with her training, but he does realize that he needs to push her a little bit hard. Magic lessons intertwined with training at Changan's. Her few days of rest were enough only for sleep. May noticed Kazu watching her off to the side, but the ninja did not approach and distract from the training. He only offered a kind smile from afar, or maybe the kitsune only imagined it. May cleaned the snow from a pass with her feet, followed by conjuring. She scrubbed the ceiling, then practiced the passes. Soon, May got another teacher, Satoshi. Oh lord. Here we go. The next evening, the grumpy shinobi summoned May to his house, declaring from the doorway, "We're putting makeup on you." Okay. Ah, it makes sense. Yeah, he's the master of disguise. The kitsune quietly looked around. Cozy. She's at the corner for two people. As live together with Hung. Shinobi distracted her from my observations. This should be easy. Gaisho are taught to put on powder, right? Applying makeup? Of course. The difference is that the women of the Okia cover up pimples, wrinkles, bags in the eyes, chapped lips. Oh, Satoshi, the guys should show off their beauty. Isn't that what I said? That's not important. I'll show you how to make yourself a different face quickly. Did you listen to old Kinuyo's work carefully? She's not old at all. Is she young? She's of a respectable age. You've convinced me. Did you listen to her carefully, I asked. Of course, yes. Good. He pointed to a table lined with various boxes and jars. Nearby were brushes and glass rods of differing sizes and shapes. Sit down. If you're not in a hurry, makeup begins with preparing the face. You need to cover it with cream, everywhere except the eyes. When there's no time, for example, a guard is about to break into the house, you'll have to make do without it. The color will be badly applied, blotchy, but if you don't look too closely, it will be passable. Then there's the base tone. Be sure to mix it with different shades, otherwise you get a doll face. Unrealistic. Don't rub it in. Spread it with light pats. It's no ordinary makeup. It spreads differently over the skin. Denser. Satoshi talked about the blush and face shapes. He showed her how to change the apparent shape of the eyes. He explained details and tricks that May partially knew, but she was hearing about most of them for the first time. If you do everything in haste, then the makeup will immediately become obvious, although a lot depends on skill. My father was a genius at that. He could put his makeup on at night at a full run. During the day, you'd never be able to tell the difference. May couldn't tell if the ninja was serious or joking. The width of the nose affects the tones on the sides and along the edges of the nostrils. Well, you know everything about eyebrows and lips if you can do makeup. What else? Age. For example, for you to pass for an old woman. In old age, the face loses its brightness and freshness. It becomes not only darker, but also more yellowed. The contrast grows, the bones of the skull are more invisible, showing through the skin. Accentuate these dips and bumps of the skull with shading using brown or gray-blue cream. You can make the eye sockets, cheeks, and temples deeper. Missing teeth cause the upper lip to be pulled in. Again, apply shadows to the corners of the mouth. The main thing here is to grasp the essence of how each type of person is different and to strengthen these features. Man, woman, old man, young man. Of course, you cannot be molded into a big chubby guy, but a young boy is easy. Then there are wigs and false noses and eyebrows. They are made from different things, professionally embossed leather, glued paper, or even dough. That will come into play later. Hairstyles. They also change the face or distract from it. Let me show you, then you will try it yourself. Do you know how? The ninja chuckled. He brought out a beautiful decoration in the form of a flower. It's unusual, eye-catching. Isn't that bad? No, they remember the decoration, not you, and it's easy to get rid of. Shinobi quickly pulled her hair into... $21 for black hair. They always wildin'. Oh, but the pin is purple. I love it. Hold up. Alright, here we go. Do you like it? Yes. I'll try to recreate this myself. Keep the hairpin. It's beautiful and he not allow her to finish. It's no matter. Wear it. Now here's another thing. You don't just change your face with makeup, you create a persona. People around you instinctively perceive this image and evaluate its credibility. A gray-haired old man briskly entering that gate will definitely attract the attention of the guards. A rich lady accompanied by servants and guards that hunches her head into her shoulders, afraid to look up from the road, will surprise the town people. They are used to the fact that such women are arrogant, proud, and do not stoop to staring at passerby. If they are looking for a girl suspected of a brutal murder, pretending to be a cute simpleton is perfect. Patrols will have a hard time believing that such a person is capable of shedding blood. If you need to approach a group of high-ranking officials at a city festival, it is easier to do so as a person with aristocratic features. You get the idea? Yes, I have to be an actress. Shouldn't be a problem for a geisha. It shouldn't. Okay. Create a simple persona. Emphasize your character or status. You know how to spread of cosmetics. I'll see how it goes and how quickly you do it. A sensual persona. Dispassionate persona. Inconspicuous. Okay. Sensual. It's probably like passion, right? So she inspected her and asked, "What's the role?" May fluttered her eyelashes, casting him a languid look. Escort of the Shogun's retinue. They are waiting for me at the palace. So she played along. Let them wait. May's tone changed suddenly, filled with capricious authority. How dare you stop on noble lady? Are you so eager to be executed? Shinobi chuckled. Not bad. They were interrupted by a woman entering the house. May had seen her during her first visit to the village and later as well. However, it was always in passing. Satoshi, May. She bowed. Yes, I know your name. Hello, madam. This is my mother, Kimi. Azumi came in after her. Good evening. Satoshi, I brought you dinner. So, that's why you give yourself away. That's why. That's why he stopped talking to you. You can't even pretend to be civil. It's like you didn't even try. She put a basket of food on the chest. And we have to take the wigs. For Azumi. Going somewhere? Not yet. Later on I have a task. She diligently ignored May's presence. I want to prepare everything in advance. The shinobi rose, nodding. Come with me. Left alone, Kimi smiled at the kitsune and asked, Do you like it? Studying the art of makeup? Yes, it's exciting. My son knows this almost as well as his late father. She simply waved her hand. Madoka also taught Azumi. I need to be catty. Not really. My husband did not teach her for long. He didn't have time. I'm sorry. Don't be. Madoka found a glorious death. So, Satoshi is hereditary shinobi? Right, he was born here. But you were an orphan. There are many like that among the ninja. Kimi held her gaze on May, then added, It's hard to become a ninja. It's even harder to leave. Why is she telling me this? Satoshi and Azumi returned to the room. Well, let's not distract them. Let's go. So she took the dinner basket. Thank you. Azumi turned around and caught the kitsune's gaze. Touching her cheekbone with a finger, she said, You have a rust spot here. Fix it. The door closed behind her as Satoshi chuckled. It's very good that you aren't able to cut people with your eyes. I'd be washing the blood off the floor, and I already cleaned them today. May I ask you something? What? Is your mom a shinobi too? Are you the best makeup artist in the clan? I don't know what to ask. Maybe about the makeup? Yes. Are you not satisfied? It's great. Doesn't take much to ruffle you. Hong must not have it easy with you. May pulled herself from her thoughts. Maybe you're different around him. It doesn't concern me. Is your mom a shinobi too? Yes. Like everyone in the clan. She holds things down around here. She almost never leaves the village. Doesn't carry out contracts. Someone has to cook and sew clothes like the ones you wore for your duck hunt. He shrugged. She's content with it, although she knows how to be stealthy and shoot a bow. Are you hungry? No, thank you. Let's continue then. I'll make you into a scabby old woman. Not fond of the idea? Okay, let's preserve your youth and health. We'll change your facial features. Memorize this if you can. Ninja began skillfully applying makeup. He commented on each of his actions in detail, not forgetting to make sarcastic remarks at every opportunity. That would be one hell of a nose. May, no Ryoge will remember you with that. They wouldn't look at anything other than your nose. Maybe we should do something unique? Protruding ears, for example? No? What a shame. Many men will find it sensual and captivating. Despite his playful, flippant mood, his work was quickly completed. When Satoshi finished and let May admire her new look, she shook her head in amazement. Incredible. Good lord. Even Lady Sumiko wouldn't recognize me. Not really perfect, hastily done. It would work if you urgently had to escape some kind of raid. But generally, he meticulously evaluated his work. Not bad. Then he slyly squinted and made a suggestion. I just had an idea. Go to Arai. Will you see through it or not? You'll have a laugh. It's just hanging out, right? It's not like like a scene, right? So I don't want Kazu to get mad later. Just saying. Let's just go check it out. Tell me how it went. There was no one in the hall of the guest house, and May coughed loudly. From the darkness of the corridor, the Ronin appeared. Madam? Trying to change her voice, May said, "Good evening." Araya inclined his head slightly and sternly asked, "How may I help you?" "Mr. Satoshi sent me. He wondered if you recognized me." The man looked closer. May? Must have been he approached her. "Did you do all that by yourself?" "No." Satoshi put on this makeup. Araya's lips were curled into a surprised smile. "From a few steps away in the dark, I really didn't realize that it was you right away. Someone who doesn't know you well definitely wouldn't identify you." "Shall I wash my face?" "Of course." Soon, sitting by the hearth, May shared her successes in sorcery. "All in all, it's going pretty well, although I'm still far from doing real magic." Okay. The warrior was glad to visit with her and listen with interest. May doubted the shinobi talked with their guests much. When May was about to return to Changan's house, Masamune said, "By the way, I'll start training you any day now." Okay, yeah. It's a nice, friendly visit. Okay. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. It's good we build up our camaraderie with him, too. You know. And we hadn't talked to him this whole time. May was alone in the morning. The healer wasn't in the house, and the kitsune, for the first time in a long time, slowly, lazily enjoyed her breakfast. The relaxed calm was broken by Satoshi calling to her from outside. His voice seemed worried. Abandoning her meal, May hurried out to him. "Quickly." Am I being tested? I don't think I've seen that on him before. I love the color. "Quickly, May." Grabbing her hand, the shinobi began dragging the kitsune somewhere. "What happened?" "Kazu and Takao are fighting." It's unlikely that they're fighting with each other. More likely that they're fighting someone. And that we need to help them. I'm going to go with that assumption. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay. That's good for me. Okay. I think that's all I have time for right now. Yeah, it's almost 11. Yeah, I need to go for right now. So we'll pick up and we'll do the next one very, very soon. Yeah, so that should be exciting. It's interesting. I wonder what's happening there. But yeah, I'm going to go with that assumption that they're not fighting each other, despite how it sounds, and that they're fighting something else. And we're going to need to put all of our training into practice and have ourselves a little bit of a battle. So have our first battle since learning all our new things, and so hopefully we get to see some really cool results. So I'm excited to see how that goes by. Also, now I'm wondering, he said something about doing the fire stuff might need to be later. So is anybody out there balancing their foxes? I don't know if I don't think it would be impossible to balance the fox, because that choice cost like 12 and we had like 16 Pearl Fox points. So I don't know. It wouldn't have been possible to keep them balanced there. So I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to balance it per se. And just, I guess they're just saying just because your specialty is illusion magic doesn't mean that you can't do fire magic. Or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. I don't know. I didn't eat breakfast. I just sat down and started recording. Okay. But this was exciting. We learned a lot. We learned a lot of cool different lessons and things like that from all the different teachers. I thought it was very, very cool. I liked the whole it's like a little training montage these past 2 episodes. And so I feel like this is very, very cool. Okay. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and share the like button, some love, subscribe to see more content like this, and I'll see you next time. And also, happy Valentine's Day weekend. Love you guys. Bye.